Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual. I'm Utsaf Parekh and I'll bring you the top stories of the day. We begin with the news coming out of Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has vowed to take charge of Gaza's security after the war. He said that Israel will have overall security responsibility over the Gaza Strip for an indefinite period of time. Netanyahu did not clarify what he means by security responsibility and whether it means a reoccupation of Gaza. Meanwhile, Netanyahu also said that he's willing to consider allowing some form of humanitarian pause in Gaza. He said this during an interview. Netanyahu said he was open to a quote-unquote tactical little pauses. UN leaders have increased their calls for a humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza. 18 heads of UN agencies issued a statement saying the war must stop as the death toll mounts. Health officials in Gaza say that more than 10,000 Palestinians have died so far. More than 4,000 of the victims are reportedly children. An Israeli airstrike hit a building in Gaza's Al-Shifa hospital complex yesterday. The strike killed one person and injured several others. The building was housing over 100 injured and displaced Gaza residents. Reports say that Israeli forces also targeted a solar panel on the roof of the hospital complex. This accusation comes after Gaza has run out of fuel and other basic amenities to keep hospitals running. Israel, however, has denied deliberately attacking the solar panels. Israel said that it has struck targets belonging to the group Hezbollah in Lebanon. It says this was in response to a large barrage of rockets fired at northern Israeli cities. The Israeli military has released a video of the targets being hit. A spokesperson has said that while the military will have a significant response each time Israel is attacked. Lebanon-based Hezbollah and Israel have been exchanging fire on their border since the Israel-Hamas war broke out. Meanwhile, Lebanon's top Christian cleric has urged state officials to shield Lebanon from the Israel-Hamas war. He has called on the officials to work to keep Lebanon from entering the conflict. Instead, the cleric has urged Lebanese officials to support Gaza through political and diplomatic efforts. Jordan's King Abdullah has said that its forces have airdropped urgent medical aid in the Gaza Strip. King Abdullah said, and I quote, "This is our duty to aid our brothers and sisters injured in the war on Gaza." Last week, Jordan also recalled its ambassador to Israel amid the ongoing war. Iraq's Prime Minister Mohammad al-Sudani visited Iran's capital Tehran yesterday. He was there to meet with Iran's President Ibrahim Raisi. They held talks over the Israel-Hamas war. The leaders also expressed their anger at the international community for failing to stop the war. Two Israeli police personnel were stabbed near the Old City area of Jerusalem yesterday. They were attacked near a police station just outside the city's walls. One of the officers sustained moderate wounds, but the other has succumbed to her injuries. The assailant was shot dead by other police officers at the scene. In other top news, reports say Russian President Vladimir Putin has decided to run in the March 2024 Russian presidential election. Diplomats say there's no serious rival who could threaten Putin's chances at the ballot box. If he decides to run and wins, it'll keep him in power until at least 2030. Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky has said that it's irresponsible to talk about elections in wartime. Zelensky said it was critical to concentrate on the military challenges facing the country. His comments followed a call for an election from the US Republican Party Senator Lindsey Graham. Former US President Donald Trump testified in an ongoing civil fraud trial in New York. Trump seemed defiant during questioning about his company's accounting practices, but he also acknowledged that on occasion there had been mistakes. Mistakes where his company did not provide accurate estimates of the value of his assets. After the hearing, Trump told reporters that he was pleased with his testimony. He added that the case was a quote-unquote scam. Chinese President Xi Jinping met with Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese yesterday. Xi said that a healthy and stable relationship with Australia served each country's interests. Albanese is the first Australian leader to visit Beijing since 2016. With the visit, he aims to mend relations between the nations after trade disputes in recent years. In climate news, heavy rainfall caused flooding in the East African nation of Somalia. At least 10 people were killed in the resulting flash floods. Over 113,000 people have been displaced. Somalia is receiving incessant rainfall after facing a year-long drought. France has issued a red alert after Storm Domingos caused flooding in the country's northern regions. Officials say that thousands of homes have been submerged. However, no casualties have been reported. Search and rescue operations are still underway. The French Weather Department has predicted heavy rainfall will continue for another day. A sudden blizzard has brought life to a standstill in northeast regions of China. Several cities were blanketed in thick layers of snow. A few hundred houses faced power outages due to the blizzard. Chinese authorities have urged residents to restrict driving due to icy conditions. Amid rising air pollution in India's capital, New Delhi, the local government has announced the implementation of the odd-even rule. The rule curbs the usage of vehicles based on the last digits of their number plates. License plates ending with odd numbers will be allowed to ply on roads on odd dates only. The same goes for plates ending with even numbers. The rules will be implemented from the 13th to the 20th of November. Air quality levels decreased in the Pakistani city of Lahore due to toxic smog. Residents complained smoke was causing their eyes and throats to burn. The air quality in Lahore was deemed hazardous by officials. Officials have announced online classes for children along with fines on smoke-emitting vehicles. Climate activists from the Just Stop Oil group smashed the glass cover of a painting at London's National Gallery. The protesters said that millions would die due to the UK government giving out hundreds of licenses for oil and gas extraction. The climate activists were later detained on charges of vandalism. The US and UK militaries owe at least $111 billion in climate reparations. This is according to a new study. The research states that the American and British militaries are the highest emitters of carbon. The study added that military activities by the US and UK have also impacted the health of several communities living in the Marshall Islands, Puerto Rico, Iraq, and Afghanistan. Now on to business and tech news. After weeks of speculation, the WeWork has finally filed for bankruptcy. The firm reported liabilities in the range of $10 to $50 billion. WeWork was once seen as the future of the office. However, it has been spiraling ever since its plan to go public fell apart in 2019. The Eurozone is now closer to a recession. This comes amid weakening demand. A survey has shown that demand in its dominant services industry weakened further. Earlier, data had shown that the Eurozone's economy contracted 0.1% in the third quarter of 2023. Reports say financial giant Citigroup may cut 10% of its jobs in its businesses. The report added that the discussions are at an early stage and that the number of people being axed could change. The job cuts are part of a sweeping overhaul Citigroup unveiled in September. Citi CEO Jane Fraser intends to streamline operations as part of the overhaul. Reports say Tesla has new plans for its German factory. The electric vehicle manufacturer plans to make a new model in Germany that will be much more affordable. The car will be priced at less than $27,000. However, it's not clear when production on the new Tesla will begin. General Electric's aerospace unit has agreed to pay the US $9.4 million. This is to settle claims that it sold defective parts to the US Army and Navy. The US Justice Department has accused the conglomerate of not carrying out proper inspections. GE also allegedly sold engines that contained improper metal fragments. Irish airline Ryanair has forecast a record annual profit. The company also added that it plans to pay investors a regular dividend for the first time. This is after airfares soared 24% during this year's summer season. An Italian judge has ordered the seizure of over $836 million from Airbnb's European headquarters. This is over alleged tax evasion. 3 people who held managerial roles in the period of tax violations are also under investigation. Meanwhile, Airbnb has said that it is in talks with the Italian tax agency to resolve the matter. Dating app operator Bumble's founder, Whitney Wolfe Herd, will step down as Chief Executive Officer. She will hand over the role to tech and business executive Lydianne Jones. Jones will take over the role in January. News of the shakeup sent Bumble's shares down by as much as 9% to a record low on Monday. Meta Platforms is reportedly putting guardrails on its new AI products. Reports say Meta is barring political campaigns and advertisers from using its new generative artificial intelligence advertising tools. This comes after lawmakers issued several warnings that the AI tools could heighten the spread of election misinformation. Elon Musk has waged war on independent social media researchers. Reports say at least 100 studies about the social media platform X have been cancelled, suspended or changed. This follows a series of steps by Musk to restrict public data collection on the platform, formerly known as Twitter. Reports add that Musk's crackdown is helping the spread of misinformation during real-life events like the Israel-Hamas war. Moving to sports, let's start with updates from the Cricket World Cup. Bangladesh beat Sri Lanka by 3 wickets in yesterday's match. Sri Lanka batted first and were bowled out for 279 runs in the 49th over. Bangladesh chased down the target in the 41st over. Najmul Shanto and Shakib Al Hasan both scored half-centuries to seal the win for Bangladesh. During the match, Sri Lankan all-rounder Angelo Matthews was declared out by the timeout rule. The rule states that an incoming batter may be declared out if they take more than 3 minutes to face the bowler. The decision to declare Matthews out by timeout has stirred a massive controversy. The Sri Lankan veteran has accused Bangladesh captain Shakib Al Hasan of cheating. Matthews said he had never seen a team stoop so low. He has demanded that the International Cricket Council, or ICC, step in and look into the dismissal. In response to Matthews, Bangladesh captain Shakib said that he treated the Sri Lankans' dismissal like any other wicket. After yesterday's match, following the controversy surrounding the dismissal of Matthews, players of Sri Lanka and Bangladesh refused to shake hands. The 2 sets of players ignored each other and went off to their respective dugouts after Bangladesh hit the winning runs. In cricket, as in most sports, it's seen as sporting spirit for teams to shake hands after the match is over. Meanwhile, legendary Indian batter Sachin Tendulkar met the Afghanistan cricket team at Mumbai's Wankhede Stadium yesterday. Tendulkar was seen sharing his insights and batting knowledge with the Afghan players. Afghanistan play Australia at Wankhede today for a chance to qualify for the Cricket World Cup semi-final. In football, Spanish forward Jenny Hermoso said she received threats after the Ruiz Lubiales kissing scandal. The Spaniard said that people made her feel responsible for the consequences which followed the non-consensual kiss. Hermoso did not elaborate further on the threats. Chelsea beat hosts Tottenham Hotspur 4-1 in yesterday's Premier League match. Spurs got off to a good start with a goal in the 6th minute. Defender Christian Romero was given a red card for an open cleat tackle in the penalty box, reducing the Spurs to 10 players. Chelsea equalised on the penalty following Romero's foul. In the second half, Destiny Udogie was sent off after receiving his second yellow, reducing the Spurs to 9 players. Chelsea striker Nicholas Jackson took advantage of a smaller Tottenham squad and scored a hat-trick to seal the win. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola has given an update on injured striker Erling Haaland. Guardiola says that Haaland is yet to fully recover from the ankle injury but is feeling better. Holland had suffered the injury when the Sky Blues beat Bournemouth 6-1 on Saturday. A final decision on the striker's inclusion in the playing 11 will be taken a few hours before his next match. Man City next face Swiss club Young Boys tomorrow. Saudi club Al Hilal beat Indian club Mumbai City FC 2-0 in the Asian Football Championship match last night. During the first half, things took an ugly turn when an altercation broke out between two players. The match had to be stopped after Alexander Mitrovic and Mehtab Singh were seen pushing and shoving each other with their chests. Both the players were handed a yellow card for their behavior. In the second half, Mehtab Singh was sent off after he received another yellow for a tackle on Al Hilal's Ruben Neves. The Saudi side scored both their goals after Mumbai City were reduced to 10 players. In tennis, Poland's Iga Świątek clinched the WTA Finals trophy last night. Świątek dominated America's Jessica Pegula 6-1, 6-0 in straight sets. The match lasted just 59 minutes. With the win, Świątek has reclaimed the world #1 spot in the women's rankings. In hockey, India will host the Paris 2024 Olympic qualifiers for the women's teams. The matches will be played in the Indian city of Ranchi and will be played between the 13th to the 19th of January next year. This will be the first leg of the Olympic qualifiers. 8 nations will compete in India, out of which the top 3 teams will qualify to play in Paris. The remaining 5 teams will get another chance to qualify for the Olympics in the second leg of the qualifiers. Now for some entertainment news, starting with a dash of sports. Tennis superstar Serena Williams, also known as the GOAT, has added another feather to her cap. The record-breaking athlete, entrepreneur, philanthropist and fashion designer is now a fashion icon. Serena Williams received the Fashion Icon Award at the 2023 CFDA Fashion Awards, making her the first athlete to be honored with the award. This follows previous winners like Naomi Campbell, Zendaya and Beyoncé. The union representing striking actors said it could not agree to the last, best and final offer issued by Hollywood studios over the weekend. The offer was the latest in a bid to end a 4-month-long stalemate that has crippled Hollywood. Negotiators for the Screen Actors Guild had been mulling the proposal since Saturday before finally rejecting it. The Hollywood actors' strike began in July and has brought TV and movie production to a standstill. Kwon Ji-young, also known as G-Dragon, appeared for police questioning over allegations of illegal drug use. The former frontman of K-pop band Big Bang is the latest in a string of South Korean artists embroiled in high-profile narcotic cases. It comes amid an ongoing crackdown on illegal drugs by South Korea's President Yoon Suk-yeol and his government. Britain's King Charles is hosting a grand party to celebrate his 75th birthday, but his younger son Prince Harry and his wife Meghan Markle are likely to be missing from the celebrations. Headlines in the UK media have accused Prince Harry of snubbing the invitation, but a spokesperson for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex said that there has been no contact regarding an invitation to Charles's upcoming birthday. Celebrity reality show Dancing with the Stars will be celebrating Taylor Swift on November 21st. Contestants will be on the show dancing to Swift's music catalogue. Mandy Moore, the lead choreographer of Swift's Eras Tour, will also join the show as a guest judge. Just a week after making her first public appearance in over 3 years, singer Celine Dion was spotted again at the final date of Katy Perry's Las Vegas residency. 57-year-old Celine Dion has been out of the public eye since her diagnosis with a disease called stiff person syndrome. She made her first public appearances in years at a hockey game in Las Vegas a week ago. R&B group New Edition are all set to bring back their new music to Las Vegas next year. The Grammy-nominated group announced that the residency shows will kick off on February 28th. New Edition says it heard countless requests from fans for them to perform in Vegas. After planning a 2024 reunion with their Summer of '99 cruise, Creed has announced a 40-city North American tour. This will mark the band's first time hitting the road in over a decade. The 2024 Summer of '99 tour kicks off in July next year and will run through September. Fans of legendary Argentine singer and songwriter Charlie Garcia gathered in Lower Manhattan in New York. This is after an intersection was renamed Charlie Garcia Corner. Garcia's music filled the neighborhood as hundreds of fans sang and danced, cheering for the singer. Amid rising anti-Semitism in the US, Hollywood icon and former California Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger was honored with the Award of Courage by the Los Angeles Holocaust Museum. Schwarzenegger was joined at the museum's award ceremony by a dozen Holocaust survivors. Schwarzenegger was born in Austria and his father was a Nazi soldier during World War II. The Hollywood legend has consistently spoken out against hate and anti-Semitism over the years. That's all for this episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to Firstpost.